Tonight we celebrate the Steelers for their talent and their heart on the field.
But we also recognize their contributions in our community. On the eve of the playoffs, Channel 4 Action News anchor Sally Wiggin talks to a player who is making a very personal tragedy public.
Yeah, he's an amazing young man, guys. Cornerback William Gay is in his 4th year with the Steelers. Many don't know his story, but soon it will be on the internet. When he was 8, his stepfather murdered his mother and then killed himself. It all came to light when Will donated his time at the Women's Center and Shelter this Thanksgiving. His job is to stop opponents' scoring drives, but as a child he was powerless against his stepfather's violence.
I'm William Gay of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I lost my mother to domestic violence. I know how hard it is to leave a bad situation. Please don't be afraid to ask for help. Women's Center and Shelter is there to help you.
Will agreed to do the PSA after his visit to the shelter. Initially, he didn't know it was a domestic violence shelter, but when he did, he shared it all.
And I got up there and I told him, hey, I went through the same thing. My mom was, died from domestic violence. And they was like, whoa, like we didn't know that. And I just went into details about the story.
Will was at his grandmother's house when his mother was shot 18 years ago in Tallahassee, Florida. And it was his grandmother who then watched him descend into fighting and school suspensions.
I mean, I went through a period, probably like 5 years, of just hatred. Man, I hated the world. Like, I was wondering why this happened to me, why my mom had to be taken.
He says he's where he is today because his uncle warned him he had to change his life.
A light just clicked, and I was like, if my mom was here, I wouldn't be doing none of this. So I kind of like sat back and said, hey, I'm acting like she's standing right here next to me in my ear saying, boy, you better not be doing that. You know I don't allow that in this house.
And the Women's Center is grateful for this powerful message.
But he turned his life around and got moving in the right direction, and he steps forward to talk about this as a celebrity and a mentor to young people. He's going to go a long way to help other young children who are struggling to find their way in the face of this issue.
In a week or so, there will be an expanded version of Will's story on the shelter's website in the form of a video vignette. We have a link to the shelter's website on the homepage of WTAE.com under As Seen on WTAE.
Obviously very difficult for him to talk about that, but did he actually witness any of this violence?
No, he told me he didn't. He said he thinks it happened behind closed doors, and she was shot when she was trying to leave her husband, which is the most dangerous time for these victims. And by the way, if you or anyone you know suffers from domestic violence or know somebody, please call the Women's Center and Shelter. And the number, you can see it on the television screen, 412-687-8005.
Sally, thank you.